punch, like Jesus.
All this stuff down there. These things I want to share with you. I can't see you guys.
Oh, wait. I
a little
realize
preview.
I can look at all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, don't look. Don't look.
Oh, no.
I was trying to figure out if I could drag you up somehow.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, it's fine. I just missed your little dance. That's all.
Oh.
All right. That's it. Hey, welcome back to another episode of 1980s Now, a weekly examination of the importance of 1980s pop culture and its continued influence today. My name is Will. Joining me, as always, are my friends and co-hosts, Kat and John. Hello, guys.
Hello, my friends.
Happy live podcast recording day again to you both.
Yay!
Make sure my phone is off. There we
A
go.
little bit of normal for John.
Yeah.
Make sure your dog is off, is what you want to check and see.
If only patting him on the head would get him to stop barking like a snooze and bark.
Oh, Marty.
I'm sure he'll be fine. It is kind of odd because, last week he got excited when we were just about to record, and otherwise he has his routine where he's quiet those times of days. But sure enough, just before I'm about to record, he gets all riled up again. It's like after 1 week.
Just like us. I'm low energy. The show starts. I'm all riled up. I'm barking and dancing. Oh, yeah. I get it. He's probably watching the show live.
Wants to be on the show.
That must be it. I was going to say, because it's so unusual that we were recording.
That we're recording?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh.
I think that might be a hiatus slam. I'm not sure.
Oh, I see. Because it's not as a routine as it once was every week.
It's not Marty's routine yet. Yeah.
Gotcha.
You've confused your dog with your irregularity in recording times.
Bad dog owner, yeah.
He's
Hey, on this
too
week's
young.
show, we're not going to be talking about anything related to pets, unlike last week. Although, and this is an awkward segue. Hey, please check out our good buddy. I was going to say pet. Good buddy John's other job, Gen X Grown Up Podcast, the YouTube, the Floor Wax. Everywhere you'd expect.
All the places.
Hey, on today's show, we're going to be talking about many things related to the stuff that we grew up with, including, hey, Spinal Tap 2 has got a trailer. I think John messaged us this. I just love the name. Was it?
It's awesome.
End continues. Yeah.
The end continues is so appropriate. It matches with the 11, right? It's like,
Yeah. I mean, everything about their writing, I guess, is just so clever. We've got a new Alien franchise, and this one's coming to Earth, and it's posing this interesting question, at least for the creators of the show. Should humanity survive? Is one of the things that's running through it. And it's interesting how he came to this position. Speaking of that, will humanity survive? Because there's some Harvard scientists that are saying a Manhattan-sized object that's headed towards Earth may be hostile.
John's going to help us figure it out, though.
What's that?
John's going to help us figure it out.
John, he knows already. I know one thing that John knows. John knows, or maybe knows is not the right word, that if in fact it does turn out to be this intelligent, intelligently designed, whatever, vehicle of some sort of probe, he knows there's Bigfoots on it. If it's not, and it's organic, no Bigfoots. But we learned that from John. That whenever UFOs appear, often Bigfoots or somehow
They do.
Yep.
That's true.
Hey, we're continuing to lose some of the folks from our youths that we looked up to and admire at the time and since, including Ozzy Osborne has died, and that happened. But more importantly, he went out like a rock star. I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan has
Literally.
died.
Yes.
Yes. Hulk Hogan has also died. The Hulkster, who in his later life, to be honest, disappointed a number of his fans with some of the revelations about not only, we could talk about it briefly, not only with regard to his personal life, but also his business life when he was part of the WWF and beyond. Disappointing, to say the least. He has, look, and I'm not, one point I want to make is I am not going to judge who you mourn. I get it. We've talked about this before. People that we admire are complicated because they're humans too.
Absolutely.
You can't really decide who you're going to feel sad about when they move on. You just, it's,
whatever hits you.
Yeah. I remember when Michael Jackson passed away, and I still don't know what the truth about that guy is. But I know some stuff is, suspicious. But I felt bummed out, So anyway, and then finally, we got this story is a mashup of everything that John loves. Jim Henson's teamed up with the folks over at General Mills to puppetize the monster cereal. I mean, try not to be too dirty here. Let me think about.
Oh,
yeah.
Wait a minute.
You're trying to make puppets and cereal filthy?
No, well, I was going to say, if you. Well, okay, I'll say it this way: if you could, I don't know what other phrases you could add to that news story that would get John more aroused.
Oh,
what other things you could throw in there?
Well, there's already aliens tonight, so if that story itself had aliens in it, or Bigfoot.
He didn't mention any cryptids in that headline, so it could be.
That's true. You're right.
Also, Mothman.
Yeah, if one of the monster cereals was a cryptid, then that would be the. They're kind of late on that. Yeah,
I know.
Wow.
Yeah,
I think that's a great idea. A cereal line of cryptids. Yeah,
I think we should time these stories. Yeah, John, you got an idea?
I'm just imagining the flavors of cereal you could base on cryptids.
Yeah, and I was imagining the mouthfeel of like a Yeti type cereal. What is that?
Oh, is it furry?
Yeah, something. Kind of like
furry.
If you let Captain Crunch sit long enough, it gets soggy. I'm talking like 5 hours or so. It takes a long time, but it gets a texture that folks don't necessarily like. I liked it better than the kind that would rip the top of your mouth apart.
It's kind of mealy, right?
Yeah, so maybe that's a Yeti type. I don't know. Starts off that way.
Yeah,
mealy.
Sure.
They've got technology today. They can make it feel like however you want. Maybe.
Yes, right away,
That's
from the first pour of the milk.
Maybe coconut's involved. I know friends who won't eat coconut because they say it feels like they're eating hair. Like they just keep not the taste, it's the texture.
Really?
No, I won't.
What are they eating? The outside of the coconut?
Maybe they're envisioning that. Yeah. Yes, they live in the jungle. They're surviving. All they have is a cell phone to message me about these things.
I've heard people make that criticism about celery. They say it's a little too hairy.
Stringy.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard people say it's like eating crunchy hair, is what I've heard people compare it to.
Crunch hair. Yeah. That's right.
No.
I think that's just what a cannibal might experience.
Crunch hair.
Yeah. Oh,
If
come
he's
on.
lucky.
Seriously? Oh, jeez.
I thought we singed all that off already.
Might as well floss while I'm here.
That's too far. That is a whole other level. All right, look, let's get back
dental
to
hygiene off the table, Kat. Come on, this is a quality show.
Let's get back to the sexy talk and try to peak our stories just as John reaches his peak. So we'll have to end with the pop. It's over here, John. Sure. All right, hey. So look, like we talked before, I've got the trailer. Should we show the trailer? Spinal Tap. I've got it here.
Yes.
Hells yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Folks who want to get on the same page with us here. Here is the trailer that just came out for Spinal Tap 2. The end continues.
Hi, I'm Marty DeBerge. 40 years ago, I was honored to direct a film called This is Spinal Tap.
The numbers all go to 11. One louder.
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
These go to 11.
I like to cycle with my pink torpedo.
Pink torpedo. That's literature.
Yeah.
Really?
A lot has happened since the last time I saw you.
Crypto!
Have you been playing music at all?
I play music at a pub.
This is the site of Spinal Tap's reunion concert. Why New Orleans?
There was a cancellation.
Who was supposed to be there?
An evening with Stormy Daniels.
Oh.
Obviously, there'll be the regular merch.
Yes.
And Hope has had a rather brilliant idea.
Tap water.
It says artisan.
It's just tap water.
It's tap water. We're still short a drummer.
What happened to him?
He sneezed himself into oblivion.
Is that medically possible?
So you think you might fill the bill?
I don't want to die.
We've only lost 11 or 12. 11 drummers.
The thing that you guys had as kids, is that still there?
I'm in a band that constantly is breaking apart and coming back together. But the more we retreat into the music, the nicer things become. Not to be profound or anything, and it would be a first time for me.
Stonehenge, 'tis a magic place where the moon doth rise with a dragon's face. Stonehenge, we are Spinal Tap. We'll go back in time to that mystic land.
What we need to do is secure your legacy. If during the gig, at least one, but ideally no more than two of you were to die.
Would you settle for a coma?
Oh, no, that's interesting.
You know?
That's a great bit of thinking outside, well, the literal box, I suppose,
Yeah.
actually.
Outside the literal box.
Of course, this is the follow-up to the 1984 classic comedy, This Is Spinal Tap. In that film, Rob Reiner played a fictional version of himself, Marty DeBurgi, who, clever folks point out that DeBurgi is the combination of a number of different, of three different legendary directors' names, De Palma, Spielberg, and Scorsese. But he also directed the film as well. Of course, it follows this fictional band. But if you didn't know it, like we talked about a couple of weeks ago, you might believe this is really a documentary about a bunch of idiots that found some success with their rock music. Were you guys fans of the film back in 1984?
I did not see it in 1984. I don't remember the first time I saw it, but I'm sure it was not before 1995 or something like that. And then I did watch it again, I think it was a little over a year ago, or maybe about 2 years ago. So I've only seen it twice. I love it. I don't have it memorized. I can't like throw lines out or anything, but but I do love it.
I think my first exposure to it was in college. I first heard about it, which would have been 90, 91, something in there. And I was at the record store, and there was a poster on the wall soliciting for drummers for Spinal Tap. But the number was a fake number. It was just like a bit of marketing. I don't know what the deal was. But anyway, maybe it was just a joke people were doing. And I asked someone about it, and they're like, you don't know? And the first time I saw it, I was over the moon. Fantastic. And even in this trailer, they don't say the names of the actors. They say Nigel Tufnell, St. Hubbins, right? They still are sticking with the mythology, which is what makes it so magical, this mockumentary thing, and they buy into it so hard. Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah, I thought that was perfect too with the credits, as you mentioned. Of course, they were actually played by Christopher Guest, Michael McKean, and Harry Shearer, who also, wrote the films as well. Of course, this is the first time that Christopher Guest took part in a mockumentary, which essentially created a standard or a genre, which, we had a little bit of this prior to that, but created a format that Christopher Guest would then, use over and over again a number of times. Sort of became the, sort of the go-to guy for this. Not go-to because it was creating his own thing, but he had a signature, his own genre of mockumentaries with several films. And I'm a big fan of that as well. I like how I'm a big fan of the film originally too, and as ridiculous as it is, there is one of the things that's good about even the most ridiculous films is having story, character. And we'll talk about that in a couple of moments with Alien Earth, like what really is essential to a good story. And the arc of the story is fantastic, where the band comes together, the band falls apart, and then one of my favorite moments is finally when Christopher Guest's character, who's left the band in a fury, returns mid-show playing a solo just to come on stage and sort of, bail them out. And, it's like, hero's journey, but about something absolutely frivolous as a rock band. I'm getting goosebumps even. So silly.
It's just such a goofy film throughout. However, they're able to, as you're saying, kind of latch onto this thread of heart that goes through the film that you really care about these mythical goofballs, and they're on again, off again. They're mad at each other, and they're not. You're like, oh, you want them to come together. I don't know how they made you care so much, but they do. They make you just, oh, you kind of, they don't deserve it, but you kind of want them to do well.
Yes.
Part of that is how relatable it is. Even just the little gaffes, et cetera, that they make are so. They take this notion of a rock stardom down to a human level where we could do it. We could easily screw up the measurements for one of the set pieces on the stage. We could wind up performing opening for a puppet act. These kinds of things are things that are very human and less like the 80s rock stars that were being portrayed on MTV and elsewhere at the time. I think that may be how we were able to connect to it. I know as being a part of a band at the time and being a musician, oh my gosh, it is a thing that band people just, like you were talking about, Kat, quotable and relatable.
Yes.
So much of it.
And when you see the trailer and you're like, who's in this? Who's in this?
Yeah.
I know that Spinal Tap, it's one of those that, like, if you're in the industry, it's even better for you because you're like, that's exactly the way this is. It's not what everybody thinks it is. And so it's so relatable the more you are in the industry. So when I saw like Elton John is in it, I'm like, doesn't really surprise me. Right. I expect any musician worth his salt that was around in the 80s at all, or even maybe since then, if somebody said, would you be interested in partaking in a sequel to Spinal Tap? And they would answer before you got the last word out.
Yes.
Like, what do you want me to do? What do we do? I want to be part of it, right? Because it's a chance to be part of something that speaks to them directly in their profession,
Yeah, and odds are they were watching it on the tour bus, like right before this interview.
Sure, of course. Right, yeah.
The sequel is timely, not just because of the abundance of 80s nostalgia and reboots that we're seeing, but also because of the various heavy metal bands that I was alluding to earlier have declared their quote-unquote final tours. That's it. And folks are now finally of an age where it seems likely that that is what there is going to be in their last performance. That is, Kiss wrapped its end of the road tour in 2023. Aerosmith waved goodbye for the Peace Out tour in 2024, and of course, as we're going to talk about in just a moment, Black Sabbath delivered an epic final performance with its Back to the Beginning show just moments ago. Yeah, Kat, you gonna say something?
No, I was listening and thinking.
If you breathe, I'm going to ask you if you're going to talk. Marcus is cursing something out. I don't know what.
His cable went out, and he he missed my dance at the beginning. We have to do over. He's saying.
Chad says saw it twice, and both times I thought it was the dumbest thing I ever saw. Oh, Chad.
Oh, Chad. Oh my goodness.
Look, folks, you like what you do, and certainly I can't judge you for that.
Chad's not wrong. It is dumb.
Yeah.
Well,
it's whether or not that flavor of dumb speaks to you, right? I mean, we have another franchise, Naked Gun, is getting a remake or reboot coming up, and that's one of those things. Like those films, that whole genre of films, the Hot Shots and all that stuff, they're dumb. It's do you like that flavor of dumb? Which I get where Chad's coming from.
Yes, I know some folks who cannot stand that type of humor, like in Airplane or Naked Gun, that type of thing.
Yeah.
It's not for them.
It's a particular taste. Right. I'd be curious, Chad,
heartless people.
If you I'm trying to be such a nicer person.
No, Chad's not heartless. He would rather watch Barney than Spinal Tap. Now, Barney has heart, right?
If you ever watched Barney, I would take Spinal Tap over Barney. There's a lot of Barney years ago. My oldest.
Do we have
Chad, were you ever in a band? Do you play an instrument? I wonder if part of that is, the three of us are, have backgrounds as performers, so maybe that's part of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
What else? Okay, that's
Chad's a drummer. He doesn't like how Spinal Tap treats drummers.
Oh yeah,
so he's like, I hate him.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. And one of the other things I love in this trailer is, unlike some of Chad says drums. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, there we go. It makes sense. I'd be mad too.
Yeah, disrespectful. Some of the bands we talked about, that they're having their quote final tours still to this day. They trying to hang on to youth. They're dyeing their hair. They're wearing clothes that they should no longer be wearing. And I really pray in my 50s now that I don't look like a guy who's trying to wear, try to I got pants on that fit me a little too tight. I'm like, these are people. I think I'm wearing skinny jeans or something. I don't know. I'm hold on to my youth. I didn't wear skinny jeans when I was younger. All right, whatever. Anyway, my point
Which is so funny.
In that video, they allowed themselves to look more like their age in clothing that's age appropriate. It looks like they're having fun with this idea that maybe they have just like in the first one, they have a costumer who's going to make them try to seem a little more hip. But I love that they're embracing, where they're really at in their lives and fictional careers. Spinal Tap 2 hits 11 on September 12th. Oh, that was a missed opportunity. Oh, they probably didn't want to make it September 11th, though.
Oh,
they should have done November 11th.
Yes.
And isn't it like the 41st anniversary or something? I think that's worked its way into the promotions. Like we missed it by a year, which is another right on brand kind of situation.
Yeah, and I think the intention was to come out last year, but you're right. What a clever way to embrace the fact that
you know what? We screwed up, didn't quite make it. Let's lean into it. That's who we are. I think that was great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, clever guys. All right, hey, is this the right order? I think so. Yeah. Let's do this. We're working up to a peak. We're working up to
we're working up. Yeah,
conclusion of the show here.
So that was the foreplay. Talking about Spinal Tap.
Cat. Oh, Cat. Why did you say it that way? That's weird.
It's a good start, Cat. I mean,
it's good. Okay. Hey, according to the Hollywood Reporter, Alien Earth poses a big question: does humanity even deserve to survive? On August 13th, they're just coming up in a few days here, Alien Earth will bring the 46-year-old Alien film franchise to television for the first time. That's kind of surprising, but that it's taking this long, I suppose, with thinking about all the incarnations. It expands the saga with a prequel set 2 years before the events of the original 1979 film. I want to say Alien is among the first, if not the first, certainly among the first quote-unquote horror movies. Now, you could argue that it's maybe more science fiction than horror, but it is a monster in the house type horror.
Yes.
It's among the first that I recall seeing as a kid, and holy cow, did it shake me up. And just the thought, I have still, baked into my psyche here, the image of them in the room with all the eggs and the face hugger popping out. And what else? So in this story, though, the one that's coming out on TV in just a few days, a space vessel crash lands on our planet and sets loose the collected samples of several different alien life forms, and not just the familiar ones from the franchise so far.
Right.
A human synthetic hybrid played by Sidney Chandler and a ragtag group of tactical soldiers race to control the crisis. I like this already. Now, we're going to play with this. We're going to talk in a moment how the showrunner said, we can't focus on the monsters. That's not really a story. But they've already flipped it on its end. They didn't go to a place where they're surprised there's monsters. They came home with a bunch of monsters that they accidentally set free and now have to drown them up. I like this idea. Yeah. Hey, you guys locked up, right? Right? Was it my day? What is that noise?
I was off yesterday. Don't look at me.
Yeah. Right. I just got
because how could you make a recurring series with that kind of intensity and that high of stakes?
Right.
Everyone would be dead by the end of the pilot, right? So since I heard about this series, it easily had to be a year and a half ago that I first started hearing rumblings about it. That's the question that I had. How do you put Alien in an ongoing series that might go for, 10, 20, 30 episodes? But in this article, it really well explains, well, we're not doing the movies. It's about the companies and about the struggle on Earth for power. And we're about to send out, the Nostromo out to encounter this stuff. It hasn't happened yet. And they're just kind of finding out, maybe some of these aliens are dangerous, but we don't know that yet, right? We don't know what the real danger is.
Just made me think some of the aliens, they have to be helpful, right? Or versus one another, where you've got a scene where one alien's about to, attack a human and another alien attacks that alien. That sort of thing. Other stuff. But you hit the nail on the head, John, because showrunner Noah Hawley, who created a number of other TV shows, he brought Fargo. The Fargo,
wonderful.
At least the concept, the vibe of the Fargo film to TV in a way that very much like this idea, the challenge of taking a 2-hour story and playing it out over several episodes. And every season of that is fantastic.
Yeah.
He also did Legion, which is based on the Marvel comic books. which a different challenge there. But what he essentially said is the biggest challenge with this was like you're saying, yeah, how do you what's the essence of something that was successful on film in a way that he can then stretch out or stretch out. That sounds like he's thinning it out, but he said that the challenge for him ultimately came down to or solving that challenge. It was determining what the first two Alien films made him feel and why did they make him feel that way. And he understood, very quickly that the issues had to be beyond the creatures hunting humans, and instead focus on what he says, quote, is a great dramatic show. Hawley went on to say, quote, the monsters become this bonus that you get versus doing monster action and horror. The first two Alien films have a lot of big ideas about humanity and artificial intelligence in our primordial past that we can't seem to escape, end quote.
And so it sounds like yes. And also it sounds like, yes, he's going to flesh that stuff out more. And of course, the monsters are there, but they're not going to be up front and center and wreaking havoc as often as they could, at least. But I'm sure that there will be jump scares, I'm sure.
I expect, yeah.
Yes.
You can't even... Back when they started conceptualizing this series, AI was nowhere near where it is right now. And so they couldn't even have imagined how much closer we have gotten to the fact that, well, in Alien, the AI turned out to be one of the enemies.
Right.
Because human lives were dispensable in order to get the profit out of these aliens. And it was like, oh, damn, look where we are. Look where AI is going right now. It's so close to home. Like, you don't have to work that hard to get the drama out of it for modern audiences. It's right there. It's in our phones already.
Yes, it is. And in the second movie, in Aliens, the AI was a good guy, was a force of good, right? If I'm remembering correctly, So it's
right.
How can this be
and none
used?
of them are good or
Which way
bad.
does
They're
this
doing
go?
what they're told. How do you use them? Right.
Yes,
it's like,
exactly. It's how do you use it's a tool. Yeah.
People
how can
are
it
the
be
worst.
used?
Well, and I think the contrast between those two, and throughout the series of films, they've flip-flopped it. Whether the android's going to be good or bad, you don't know, and then you find out over the course of the 5 or 6 films we've had so far. But you make me realize that, well, a couple of things. One, I couldn't even think of the terms of of Ash in the first one being AI. Yeah, of course, you're right. 46 years ago, AI was the threat already anticipated. Our sci-fi writers are always way ahead of us, right? As they say. But the fact that we have a difference between 1 and 2, Ash and Bishop, like John points out, it's what they're told to do. It reminds me of what Hawley highlights in this article is that what is the fact that they are created by humans. So they're only doing what humans say. So to the extent that Ash is bad, it's because capitalism has created this infrastructure that has had a company create this devious AI to do this thing that's going to lead to greater profits, that kind of thing. And we're more there now than ever, right?
And it's such a double-edged sword, because on one side you want to be like, oh, well, the AI was told to do something bad, and it's a victory when it develops its own conscious and awareness and decides to do good. Well, if an AI can decide to do that, it can also decide to not do good and do evil if it's told to do good. You might think that's the victory, but having an AI determine that it's going to disregard its programming to do what it believes to be right, we don't know if that's going to be in our best interest or not.
That's right.
And I guess they sort of play with that as the films go on. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But because humans are, at least initially behind these creations that in the first 2 films, or certainly the very first film, is the bad guy, because in addition to the alien itself, the real bad guy is this android. Hawley says it raises this idea of, quote, does humanity deserve to survive, end quote. I'd like to say, I mean, but I got to tell you guys, I have a vested interest in that answer.
It's a little self-serving, that answer.
Yes, I am a little
biased.
I am a little
Right.
biased. Yeah.
Right. Now, we could probably afford to thin it out. I mean, Thanos did have a point.
Yeah.
But overall, I would like to continue to exist. Yes.
You're right. Right. And maybe we should instead take the steps necessary to be more worthy of survival. I thought this was interesting too. Just thinking of your personal histories, is that Hawley in this article highlights how the first Alien film for him is about class. He says, "quote You start the first movie with space truckers."
Yes.
Yeah, they are.
And then the second movie is Marine Grunts. Paul Reiser's character is middle management. There's this sense that class is a real issue as a 1970s thing that came into it. So I wanted to bring that element into this show as well.
Yep.
Yeah, he goes on to explain that he's like John said at the beginning, he's going to focus on, the corporations behind these stories.
Oh yeah.
More and the intrigue there, and again, being able to use those to make a comment on where we are today as far as humanity goes.
Yeah,
I have great confidence because it's Noah Hawley, because of what he was able to do with Fargo. Fargo is so nuanced, and bringing that to the small screen in a way that, again, we mentioned that you could extend it to last more than an hour, but also make it feel. The fact that he said, "I want to do what that Alien movies made me feel like." The Fargo series feels the way Fargo felt, and so I have great confidence. I'm looking forward to it more than I otherwise would.
Yeah, and if you're worried about being bogged down by the lore that was teased and it's really confusing by the subsequent films, he said, "Look, that's not what I saw when I was a kid. So for me, that didn't exist. So there's no reason to touch upon this. This is a prequel to all of those films. So I'm only going to work with what I knew when I was a kid and fell in love with these two movies." And so I think that for me, I know I can't keep track. I always ask my oldest, who's a huge fan of the films, like, "All right, now who is this and why is that?"
I'm glad too. I haven't seen those.
And who is the engineer and which one is?
Yes.
It's like listening to Pink Floyd and going, "Which one's Pink Floyd?" Right? It's like, no. Right. You totally don't get it.
I just wish they would have the Alien versus Predator movies. They would have the Alien. I'm not sure what you mean. They did make one, right?
Maybe to incorporate that into the TV series or something.
Oh, okay. So look, there's good news on that front at least, right? We've got Killer of Killers, is an animated Predator show, and we've got Badlands coming out soon, which seems to be part of the world. In the very least, you've got a synthetic in there that seems very much like it could either be, maybe it straight up is, right? A Weyland-Yutani. It is. I think you see
I think you see in her eyes when they're closed or open and she's not on, you see the Weyland-Yutani W logo right on her eyeballs when she's asleep.
Right.
Whoa. Yeah. So it's leaning into that dual mythology, I think.
Yeah. Yes, that's right, John. You're right. I remember now. Yeah. So, hey, we're getting there.
Ted has a comment here. He says, Aliens was the first and only movie that I was concerned for my actual safety in the theater as I watched it.
Yeah.
Actually, that reminds me watching the little trailer today on my phone.
Yeah.
So I'm reading the article and then I watch the trailer and my phone started vibrating with the beat of the music they had on. Like I'd never felt it before. It was an ominous, steady beat underlying the trailer that I could feel. Like my whole phone was going with this beat, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
Like the AI of the phone was somehow warning you.
You're just getting a text.
It was just the volume. No, the volume of the music behind the trailer was
eggs, milk, dish detergent. Ah!
No, it was the music.
Oh,
and
I thought you were getting a text every half second, maybe.
Yeah. And I was being jump scared, by my text.
Updating the grocery list you needed.
It was the music. It was just this ominous beat, and it freaked me out. It really freaked. It was not my shopping list. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, speaking of this question about whether we should survive or not, we may not have a say in it. Because according to the New York Post, I should say asterisk. According to the New York Post, rare interstellar object could be an alien probe. Asterisk. Maybe, I don't know. But everything's asterisk. A newly discovered Manhattan-sized. That should just be. That's all you need to know to make this an interesting story. I think.
John, stay away. Stay away. It's Manhattan-sized. Don't go near it. Okay.
It's zooming through our solar system. And it's been identified as a comet. But two Harvard scientists argue that there's a reason to believe it's really an alien probe. Okay.
The crazy thing is that it's not just a comet. It's not just, it's intergalactic.
Planetary.
Intergalactic. That's right. it isn't just like, oh, it's something orbiting our sun. It's ripping across multiple galaxies and currently coming through ours. And people look for reason in coincidence.
Yes.
Like, what's coming our way, then it must be on purpose because it's so random. That's how random works.
Yeah. Okay, look, I'm going to skip to the end of this and we can double back. But yeah, the most fascinating thing about this, it doesn't have to be this nonsense that these two scientists are coming up with, Harvard scientists, because what we can agree upon, because we're about to show how this is a bunch of nonsense based on their peers are saying it's nonsense. All you had to do was say this, is that legitimate scientists, imagine these are more peer-reviewed studies and results, that a computer model simulating where it originated from hinted that it could be up to 3 billion years older than our solar system, potentially making it the oldest comet ever seen. That's exciting enough.
It is, right. And no one 3 billion years ago launched a probe to check out something that wasn't here yet.
Yeah. John. Oh, unless they have some kind of time travel.
They had foreknowledge. You're certainly
foreknowledge. There you go. All right. So look, these Harvard scientists. So all right, taking a step back. NASA discovered what they're calling 31 Atlas on July 1st, speeding through our inner solar system. By the way, at 140,000 miles per hour. Which you would think, shouldn't it be here by now? Space is big.
It's very big.
What's the holdup?
Billions and billions.
But experts are clueless as to where it originated. Hey, they don't know where we came from either. So, I mean, that's not a big shocker. Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb suggested in a new paper that the object, only the third interstellar object ever detected. That seems insane. Only the third?
Wow.
Okay. But he's suggesting that it could be intelligently directed alien craft observing Earth, possibly with hostile intentions.
Possibly to make a surprise party for your cousin. Possibly hostile. Where do you get that from? Based on what?
This is, well, I'll tell you what he bases it on, but this is of that, this is that new type of reporting, in the most quote unquote reporting, asterisk, where you feel like you can say anything you want if you pose it in the form of a question.
Right.
What is the intentions of this interstellar object? What are they? I'm not saying I know, but are they hostile? Come on. So these knuckleheads said, quote, the hypothesis in question is that 31 Atlas is a technological artifact and furthermore has active intelligence. If this is the case, then two possibilities follow. First, that its intentions are entirely benign. And second, they are malign. So what they point to is a bunch of anomalies to suggest that this isn't just a natural phenomenon happening. One of the most puzzling observations they say is that the object has, quote, significant non-gravitational acceleration whilst having now cometary outgassing. Now, isn't that what you had after that Taco Bell wedding?
Yep. I ate the bouquet and shouldn't have.
Oh, no. That's twice. That hot sauce bouquet, yeah. Oh, this sounds all related.
Oh my goodness! Stand by for planetary outgassing.
Yeah,
that was my favorite part of the article.
That's your favorite part
of that whole article.
You mentioned my favorite parts. The paper presented in part as a pedagogical experiment. I mean, is that the place? Is that what papers are for? No. Tell me what you found. Tell me what the implications are. It's not thought experiment. I mean, not a scientific paper, right? This sounds like a philosophical paper.
Yes.
Anyway, this paper embraces the, quote, dark forest hypothesis regarding alien life, which assumes that that other intelligent life would likely view Earthlings as a threat to be snuffed out. That phrase, that term was coined in a 2008 novel by someone's name I can't pronounce. Cixin Liu, I'll say. Which is a direct rebuttal to the Fermi paradox, which suggests that contact with extraterrestrial intelligence is impossible. The galaxy's too big. What is it, John? Too big, and we don't live at the same times because it's
that's the biggest problem. Yeah, so loved Cosmos as a kid. Carl Sagan, hero of mine, and he runs through the formula about how many millions of sentient species likely have existed ever in the history of time. However, we all live so far apart in time that likely we're only alive for a blip in time, cosmically speaking, on the billions and billions of years. We've been around for what, 10,000 years as Homo sapiens? And we'll be gone shortly, So it's like they would have to catch us at the moment we're home. We stop by home on the way between work and the club. You have to catch us in the 30 minutes we're home showering. Otherwise, you won't catch us. We'll be out again. So,
Right.
Yeah, that's the tough time. Time. The people don't understand. They might understand how big the universe is, but they don't understand how far apart times are.
Yes.
Well, then unsurprisingly.
Mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. Really.
Yeah.
It is mind-boggling.
As reported by Space.com, other experts told, is it Live Science or Live? It's got to be Live Science, right? That
I think
site.
it's live.
I suspect
Live
live.
Science.
Yeah.
These other, quote unquote, these other seemingly more legitimate scientists say that the claims are, quote, nonsense and, quote, insulting. That all evidence points to it being a completely natural phenomenon. With initial observations suggesting that it's a large comet surrounded by a cloud of ice, gas, and dust called a coma, stretching up to 15 miles across. And this guy, Avi Loeb, apparently this isn't the first time he claimed that UFOs are coming or the sky is falling. He's the head of the Galileo project, which attempts to detect evidence of technosignatures and UFOs. In 2023, he led a controversial expedition that claimed to have collected pieces of possible alien tech left behind by an unconfirmed interstellar meteorite in the Pacific Ocean. Those claims have since been debunked.
So I'm thinking this is a good situation to apply that. What would you call it, Will? Occam's razor? The simplest explanation is is very likely what it is. It's probably just a comet. Yeah.
It's a real bummer that these guys can say that they're not that they can say that they are Harvard scientists, but it seems like they are even. It's hard to think. Look, John. Look, I'm not making fun of John. I don't intend to at all. He would love this stuff to be real. I would, to an extent too. It'd make life more interesting.
Yeah.
But oftentimes, I'm a little more cynical with regard to these things, I guess, than John is. But there's been enough of folks who seem to have come forward with quote unquote alien stuff. We had about the guy in Mexico who did that presentation to the government a couple of years ago, right? It was I think it was Mexico. It was like animal parts he had put together. So there's some nefarious folks or some trying to make a profit or just need a name for themselves because their mom didn't love them enough or something. But a Harvard scientist writing a paper, that's a whole other level of attention seeking.
It is. And nothing against big ideas. Big ideas are great and mind expanding things, but evidence. we need some hard evidence.
Yeah.
Still got to get John that probe this shirt. Remember on the back of the arrow.
Probe this.
All right, hey. To sadder news. Ozzy Osborne has died. That's not the news. You guys knew that already, but yes. And actually, we just they live streamed his funeral procession, which was, I thought, a great thing for folks like we're talking about earlier. You don't know who's gonna make you sad. Who you're gonna mourn, who you're gonna be moved by when they're gone from this planet. And I think that was a great opportunity to provide the millions of fans of Ozzy's some sort of closure. It can't be at the private ceremony, but that's something. It's. We don't often see those things except for folks at the level of, state, like a president or Princess Diana, famously, decades ago.
Yes.
I can't think of a celebrity who got that sort of treatment, but Ozzy was apparently of that stature, and I think rightfully so.
Well, and having just been brought back to the fore of the public consciousness with this concert, I think added an extra bit of ouch to his passing. Because you just reminded us how much we enjoy your work. Oh, and now you're gone forever. It's something made it hurt all the more for me.
Yeah.
I wasn't even a particular huge Ozzy fan. That's he's fine, but I feel bummed about it too because he just permeated so many aspects of me, like pop culture and media. Like he did, of course, music was the biggest one, but then
he's not just a musician. You're saying, right? He's a character. He's a personality. He's certainly.
Yes. Yeah.
And of course, we've talked many times on this show and on John's show, Gen X Grown Up, they've talked about it too. The Satanic Panic, and he became, sort of one of the many faces of it that parents point to as one of these characters that's, using rock music to lure their children to the devil. And of course, again, we've spoken about this before, but the funny thing about this is he did it as a gimmick. You know, his band wasn't really going anywhere. So he's like, how do I get attention? And the story goes that he was, I think, saw the line outside of it. I want to say The Exorcism. And what is this movie about? And he's like, oh, it's a horror movie. All right. Horror sells. There's a long line here. Let's do something along those lines. And Black Sabbath's, sort of Ozzy's gimmick was born.
Yeah.
By all, we're going to talk about this more in a moment. I keep saying that. I hate when people do that. Just talk about it or don't.
Do it now.
Especially when you're in a class and they're like, well, in 20 minutes from now, we'll get. No, this is going to be more than 20 minutes. Oh, God. Towards the end of the 2 hour.
I'd hope to be gone by then. You're still going to be here?
Yeah. But by all accounts, I was going to say, he obviously had his challenges like everybody does. He had maybe a little bit more with regards to health issues and battling addictions at different times at different points in his life. But by all accounts, he was a good guy and ultimately made this really fantastic, last gesture. But even back in 2011, he had a good sense of humor about his passing, telling Entertainment Weekly that, what did he tell him? He said, quote, I honestly don't care what they play at my funeral. They can play a medley of Justin Bieber, Susan Boyle, and We Are the Diddy Men if it makes them happy. But I do want to make sure it's a celebration, not a mope fest.
Yeah. I like that.
I'd also like some pranks. Now, I wonder if they did any of this. We don't know because that part of the ceremony was private. I'd also like some pranks. This is, again, Ozzy. Maybe the sound of knocking inside the coffin. Or a video of me asking my doctor for a second opinion on his diagnosis of death. There will be no harping on the bad times. He further noted that he had been fortunate so far in his life relative to other folks who had, according to him, had a lot more challenges and misery than he did with his, in light, as compared to his great success. And so what would anybody have to feel sad about? He lived a great life. Well, as I mentioned, he did die on July 23rd, 3 weeks after playing what had been advertised as his final concert. He had stepped away from performing for, I don't know, probably about 10 years or so, better part of the last decade due to health issues, including Parkinson's disease and emphysema. But he came back to stage for the Back to the Beginning event, which was a 10-hour tribute featuring a lineup stacked with music stars.
Yeah.
For his part, the Prince of Darkness played both solo and alongside his former Black Sabbath bandmates. According to Billboard, in true metal fashion, he went out like a rocker here. In his final show, which was a charity concert, he raised more money than any other concert like it.
Wow.
According to an Instagram post from the event's musical director, Tom Morello, the show, which was watched by 40,000 ticket holders and 5.8 million individuals online, will donate about $190 million to Birmingham Children's Hospital, Acorn Children's Hospice, and Cure Parkinson's.
That's no jump change. Holy moly. And you got to point out, I think it said in the article, I don't think you read that part, this isn't the most money ever made adjusted for inflation.
Yeah, right.
This is the most money ever made disregarding the fact that it's in 2025.
Yes.
Even adjusted for inflation, apparently this is the most money raised by an event like this. Is that what I read, or am I mistaken?
I think you got it backwards, but I'm going to leave it the way you said it because it sounds a lot more impressive.
It sounds better.
I do have that sentence here. It says, while it's impossible to fact check so soon after the event, that figure surpasses the amount raised by many of the highest profile charity concerts of all time, according to Billboard. Not adjusted for inflation.
Oh, not adjusted yet.
Oh, not adjusted. Oh, okay.
Right.
So it is not adjusted, but it is the most. You'd have to do some math. All right.
I misread that too. Okay.
I get the sense that Billboard raced to figure this out. And they're like, we don't have time for inflation. We just got to get this article out.
You could just multiply by 3 and you're probably close. If you're going to the 80s, that's pretty much it.
Aaron says, it's interesting. Anytime that you have a person with a stage persona, Ozzy, Pee Wee Herman, Hulk Hogan, where does the fictional persona end and the real person start and vice versa? Well, to give you a context for the fundraising, I'm having a hard time with words tonight. The fundraising, let's see, it was a big accomplishment, fundraising accomplishment. You ever do that where you ask for a word, but you say the word you want? Yeah, what's a word?
Yes.
It's kind of like accomplishment. Yeah, that's what it is.
Achievement? Maybe?
Yeah, achievement.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's even better.
The fundraising achievement, Where is it? Oh, here it is. For context, I wanted to give you some numbers that we can relate to and understand. And it turns out that these are the records to be beaten. Were set in the 1980s. Live Aid Festival held July 13th, 1985. So just roughly 40, years prior, which was broadcasted to an estimated 1 billion viewers in 110 countries, raised about $100 million.
Okay.
Live Aid raised another $10 million. Let's see. And $60 million was raised for via We Are the World. Willie Nelson's Farm Aid, which was in 1985, raised more than $80 million to support farmers over the past 40 years. So there you go. By far, this $190 million. And again, I don't know what the inflation is. Who cares? Doesn't matter.
Doing the math, others might have done better for their time, but still, this is a tremendous record and accomplishment. And also kind of a wonderful little punctuation at the end of Ozzy's career in life, isn't it? That the last thing he did was this tremendous good for people that need it so much selflessly.
Yep.
It reminds me of our discussion about Superman last week and the message in Superman, which they don't. It's spoken that kindness is punk rock. And I don't know. Would we have said that in the 80s? I don't know. But today, and the suggestion being that, a punk rock is something that goes against the grain, right? That's rebellious. And maybe in the very least, he was rebellious against the image that he himself had created. Saying counter to that often. And like John said in this final gesture.
Yeah, his detractors back then wouldn't have thought it possible that he could be a kind-hearted person who would want to help other people as many
as possible. Evil musician raised money for who? Right? Oh, well.
Exactly.
I couldn't find it substantiated by any actual news outlet, but you had seen, rumblings online of he knew this was the end, so this is why he did this, or that he had taken himself off his medication so he could be as lucid as possible for his performance, in spite of the pain it might have put him in, that sort of thing. I couldn't find any of that substantiated, but those notions, don't seem counter to the person that we understand he was.
Very selfless.
Marcus said something here. Real John is no picnic. I guess Real John is a fictional persona. I mean, he isn't a racist, roid-headed snitch, but still.
Racist, roided. Oh. Well, I'm glad to hear you're not that, John.
Well, Brandon does say that Ozzy made a comment after the show that the fans didn't just see his last concert; they also saw his funeral. Okay, so maybe that is true then.
Wow.
Sense of it,
Oh my gosh. Maybe he sensed the end was near. Yeah.
Your own terms, do what makes you happy. It's your life.
I'm sure Marcus did this purposely to help the show because he's great like that. Speaking of racist, roided snitches, as reported by the New York Times. and your ears, Hulk Hogan has also passed.
Yes.
The Hulkster, whose flamboyance and star power helped transform professional wrestling from a low-budget regional attraction into a multi-billion-dollar industry, died on July 24th, just about a day after Ozzy, in Clearwater, Florida. He was 71. They're saying it was a heart attack. He was treated for a cardiac arrest. It seemed like, unlike, I'll scratch all that. I'm going to scratch all that. Okay. Born Terry Bollea. I never know how to say his last name. Bollea. I'm going to say Bollea.
Bollea or Bollea?
Bollea. Bollea sounds way more fancy.
Ooh.
Clearwater, Florida could be. No? No. He adopted the name Hulk because no one could say Bollea. No, he adopted the name Hulk because of comparisons to the muscular comic book character on CBS television program, The Incredible Hulk. Because we're talking about the late 70s here. And in 1979, he made it to the World Wrestling Federation, which, of course, is now the WWE. And I didn't know that before they were the WWF, they were the WWWF. This is funny. The Worldwide Wrestling Federation. But isn't worldwide one word?
Yep.
Yes.
Anyway, whatever. Okay.
Yes.
It is. Yeah, that's. Yeah.
We don't need that many W's.
Well, then wait a minute. Then how come URLs use www if worldwide is one word?
Oh yeah, you're right. I could be wrong.
It's conspiracy.
Yeah.
Two is not enough.
I'm going to write a paper. It's the aliens are conspiring against us to.
Yes, right. To steal our W.
Acronyms.
Add more W's.
Yes. Say that again. I want to hear that I was right.
Marcus says you're right. So what was it? Bolea?
Bolea.
Okay.
Thank you, Marcus.
Wasn't that a movie with Bo Derek?
Yeah, fantastic movie. Hulk was in it too. Topless.
Oh no.
Speaking of W's.
Wait, what?
Look, I think I don't know. Wins? You mean like a win? That was a win?
I'm wondering.
Yes.
You mean the shape?
It's just a win. That's all it was.
Oh, okay. Like, I thought you meant like Madonna's Vogue bra. It was a shape. Of
That's not what I meant, but you can go there too if you want.
From a top view, yeah.
It's a matter of perspective, according to Kat.
Yeah. Huh. I think I prefer the soft W. You know,
From
like
here it says ooh. From above it says wubba.
Okay. I don't know what the hell we're talking about anymore. But I'm going to bring it back to the passing of a legend.
Rein it in.
Keep it on the tracks. Come on, let's get it back.
I watched wrestling, in the early 1980s and probably until I graduated from elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
But it was that era that, had Hulk Hogan, a number of, it was that era in which Hulk Hogan, was the star of the WWE.
Yeah.
Yes.
And certainly, between, his appearances there and in Rocky and on TV, just for me, made wrestling must-see entertainment every Saturday morning. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had an interest, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
Same. Although, well, I mean, my dad used to take us to see wrestling, and we were going before it got huge, before it got popular. So I was seeing some of the more classic ones like Bob Backlund and George the Animal Steel, Andre the Giant, the Bruno Sammartino, they were huge, but the WWF was not huge yet. So we watched it happen. And we even one time we went to the convention hall at the shore in Asbury Park, and Hulk Hogan was there, and it was like right on the edge of it, becoming huge, becoming as huge as it became. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
This Sunday at the Lakeland Arena. Come down, right? And I went with my dad to the arena to see the wrestlers, and this was the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And in the Southeast, it was one of the big spawn points for so many, the Ultimate Warrior came out of here, and all the Solis came out of here, and Dusty Rhodes came out of here, and Gordon Soley, the commentator, came out of here, and they were all there. Like all those people that maybe I'm misremembering who, but like I know Soley was there, and definitely the Rhodes were there. And when I think about, you said you can't determine who you mourn for or who you hear who has lost. And when I think about the Hulk Hogan that I mourn has been gone for some time, the one that I knew as a character, and I've kind of have already the man that he became and whatever his leanings were, and he can be whatever he, how he behaved in business and real life, but I didn't admire him for his real life and his business.
Right.
I admired his character. And it's that thing where you have to be able to set aside the person from the art a great deal. So what I miss is the character that he brought that made that so exciting, that made this, anyone that says it's fake, it is athleticism at some of the highest levels. It's a lot of work. It's also performance. It's also coordination. It's all of that. And it's dangerous. Yeah. And he brought some entertainment value to that. Not him, many, many others too. And so, of course, I mourn anyone that passes, certainly if I had any connection with them at all. And while I didn't necessarily agree with or care for the man he was in later years, it doesn't make the loss any less, really. It might temper it somewhat, but I still feel it the same way because of who he was to me then.
Yep.
Yeah. I agree. Yep. Yeah, and some of the folks you mentioned, wrestling, Kat, obviously I remember I know only because I then saw them on the WWF wrestling opposite Hulk, or
Yes, some of them endured. Some of them were part of the old, the old guard. And actually, come to think of it, while John was talking, I was remembering we saw the match. It was in person where Hulk won the belt from Bob Backlund. Bob Backlund had been a good guy, and it was yay, and Hulk was a heel at that time.
A heel. That's right.
And so we saw this match where Hulk was a bad guy, and he won the belt from Bob Backlund. And so we were bummed at first. It was like, oh no. But then he spun it around, right? And he was soon after that. I don't know all the details, but he was not the heel anymore. He was the Hulkster, and
he was profitable. He's now the hero. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. And we couldn't help but be fond of him at that time.
Yeah. Yeah. And some of what made him iconic was, obviously his look, how he's, how he shit talked people, including his blonde hair, his horseshoe mustache, the bandana, the way he would flex before things, the way he'd put his hand on his ear before the crowd.
Yes,
the way he'd tear off his shirt. Yeah, Cat's tearing
shirt.
You guys should watch the video of this. Talk about W's. All right. Okay. Time out.
That's like a you.
So look. In his later life, or his life went on, we learned more about him that again wasn't consistent with the character that we had loved when he was a hero of WWF. He was I don't have to go into it, right? He was in a lawsuit regarding sex tape with him. He was on tape using horrible racial slurs, bad things. Again, we've talked about separating art from the person. That's a personal thing for you. I can't tell you that the guy was an asshole, so therefore you can't be sad over his death.
No.
But what I was surprised to learn, talking about this, and maybe you guys know this because you're experts, is how much of his act was taken from superstar Billy Graham. And it's funny because you mentioned all those people, Kat, George the Animal Steel and those people. Those guys started, earlier too than the popularity that we would see, WWF rise to in the 1980s. They began in the 1970s. And I knew superstar Billy Graham earlier than I knew him. So I must have known him or maybe he ultimately came back to the WWF this time as a heel. But before that, he was, he was a heel then. That's the thing. All right, scratch that. Here we go. Superstar Billy Graham, who, like the folks you're mentioning, wrestled during the 1970s with Bruno Sammartino, Bob Backlund. In fact, he became the first time he became a champion. He beat Bob Backlund, just much like you're saying,
right?
And strong Kobayashi, Pedro Morales. Yeah.
Yes, I remember that name.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he's of that era, but. And he, at 16 years old, Hulk Hogan sees, like you guys, Hogan's from Florida, like John. He would go see these local matches, and he saw Dusty Rhodes perform somewhere live and became enamored with wrestling. Ultimately, he saw Billy Graham, and he's like, these are the guys I want to emulate. When he wants to get a career in wrestling, he actually reaches out to Graham and says, "Can you help me get a job?" And he hooks him up with, I can't remember the name of that family school, like a legendary wrestling school. And I want to say it's in Florida as well, somewhere south. And it takes off from there. But among the many things he got help from with Graham, although it wasn't like Graham was complicit in this, was the shirt ripping, the bandana, the hand on the ear, the 24-inch pythons, the double bicep, the using brother. That is all Billy Graham. And look, if you need some receipts, got some stuff for you. What was also uncanny is just how they looked like one another naturally.
Yes.
They both were balding. They both sported this, blonde, I don't know, they might have been both originally sort of toe-headed with this very blonde hair.
Yes.
But this very blonde hair, what do they call the sideburns? Those
mutton chops or something.
Yeah. So just with the red shirt on here. Look at that. This is all Graham. But if you didn't know, you might think this was Hogan.
I absolutely if I scan my eyes right past it. Oh, I'd say Hulk Hogan. But,
and what's interesting is that during the 1970s, I learned, wrestlers were not built. They were, they had dad bods. They had
regular people
and barrel chests.
Yep.
But they were large and could toss people around.
Yep.
Billy Graham is considered or regarded by many as the first to show up, in good shape. And obviously, we later learned that he was on steroids and doing all these things necessary to come up with this inhuman-looking form. But he was shredded. So for him to come on stage and be shredded, he already got attention. But then he added to his character things again that weren't being done in the 70s. Wearing boas, wearing bandanas, talking in a flamboyant way, having a character that made people hate him all the more because he was a heel back then. Here he is ripping his shirt. Again, this could be Hogan.
Yep.
Yeah, Hogan did this too, with the one arm in the air.
Yep.
Yeah.
That. Yep. Oh.
I had no idea. Now, in later years, Hogan would even adopt Billy Graham's later look, where Hogan would later have this, what do they call it? Mustache, porn stash. And he would dye his hair 2 different colors, the blonde and the dark color.
Oh, man.
Hogan did that too, which is, again, something that Graham
So
did.
this is Billy Graham. This one.
Is Billy Graham, all of these, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Did you guys know about that? I didn't know about that.
No.
That's not something that I noted. And honestly, if you just say the name Billy Graham to me, I think of the preacher.
Yeah, right.
Televangelist. Yeah, that's
exactly. The televangelist.
Wrestler.
That's the first thing that
there was a
popped in my head.
televangelist going, "Give to Jesus, brother."
Let me tell you something, brother, about Jesus.
It wouldn't surprise me.
That could be.
Yep, that's the first thing that popped into my head. So let me ask you this: was Billy Graham? I wasn't as in tune with him. Was he kind of on his way out when Hulk was becoming big? Was there did I miss something there?
Yeah, there's definitely a gap. He bounced around from some different of the wrestling companies, but he was with the WWF for a period of time, right before Hogan started taking off, and then he was gone. And my understanding is so then Hogan adopts essentially Billy Graham's personality, but with one difference, as you mentioned, he becomes a hero. Billy Graham was a heel, and so many people think that the reason why he didn't take off as well as he did is because he was a bad guy. And back then, folks weren't rooting for the charismatic bad guy; they were hating on him.
Yep.
Since now we've got a mix of this in wrestling, but Hogan comes and takes that act, but makes himself the hero, and it really takes off. Billy Graham winds up coming back to the WWF after a period of time, but he creates a new character. And apparently he's pissed at Vince McMahon Sr. Because Vince McMahon's dad was still running the place, I think. And I can't remember what their beef was. I don't think it was that Hogan stole his act, but he instead created another character where he was like a karate expert, and he looked kind of like the Iron Sheik. He had a dark mustache now, shaved his head. He wore black like karate pants. And it never really took off. So then he was out there again. So there was a little bit of an overlap, but there was definitely a period of time where he was not with the WWF that allowed Hogan to rise. They're only a 10-year age difference, and Hogan started, I don't know, maybe about that much time after. I think Billy Graham started in like 71, and Hogan started like in 77. So there's a little bit of a gap there, but so they weren't in the league doing the act at the same time. No.
Right. And I'm sure I must have seen him. I don't know if I saw him live. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I saw him on TV, but I was just much more aware of the other ones. I don't know, Ric Flair, Jimmy Snuka, Haystack Calhoun, like the other guys. Who's the one who collaborated with Cyndi Lauper?
Lou Albano.
Yes, Captain.
Yeah.
Captain Lou Albano.
Yeah, and their managers were characters too. Yeah, I don't think they had that in the 70s, but yeah. Captain Lou, yeah.
DiBiase and all that gang.
Yes.
I tried to get Jimmy Hart on the show years ago.
Yes.
Because Jimmy Hart, in addition to being this, character on WWF as a manager, he was in bands in the 1980s, and I can't remember. I feel like he had a hit song or was with a hit band that you would know. I can't remember what it was. But I wanted to chat with him about that.
Somebody get on that. Look that up.
Brandon says wrestling seems boring to me these days. The larger than life characters were what made it fun to watch. Oh, do they not do that anymore? I thought they did, like with the Undertaker. He's probably 10 years old now, but stuff like that.
Yeah. Maybe it just feels a little overdone. Like it's just not as original anymore. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I guess it's harder to stand out, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chad does say, "Let me tell you something, brother." Karen says she used to see Dusty Rhodes at her church, and he
That's
and his
crazy.
family went through my line at Kmart sometimes too. No kidding.
Wow.
Oh, yep.
Wow.
They're just like us wrestlers.
Yeah, we're just normal.
They're just people.
All right, let's
Rowdy
end the
Roddy
show.
Piper. That popped into my head. Rowdy
Oh,
Piper.
wow,
He was
yeah, he
another
was
one that stood out.
Mhm.
It's great.
Okay, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Oh, and he's so great in They Live. I wish he made like a dozen more films before he passed.
He and Keith David in the alley. Oh my God.
Yes.
Yes.
when you see that fight and you know his background, you know how that came to be, and then you learn behind the scenes how it came to be. But I mean, he used so much of the wrestling that he knew to choreograph that.
That's awesome.
And teach Keith David how to,
Yep.
I want to say fake it, but like to John's point, some of those things hurt. I mean, they're falling on hoods of
Right.
cars and stuff. You can't.
That's right. That's right. You can do it safely. Sorry. You can take steps to do it as safely as possible.
Yes.
But still hurts. Yeah,
Yeah.
still hurts. Gravity still exists.
Yeah, those guys are athletes. Yeah, that's the what do they call it? K-fab, right? The K-fab is I don't know how they got that phrase, but K-fab is the notion that wrestling is fake in the sense that it's predetermined.
Yes.
But everything else about it's real. You're getting punched in the face. You're getting jumping off of a rope into it.
Right.
Into a car table.
The
or something.
storylines may be manufactured and steered and driven, but the athleticism is real. Right.
No, that's absolutely real. Hey, Tim answered our question here.
Oh, we should know Tim knew. Right? What is it?
The Gentrys keep on dancing. Jimmy Hart.
Okay. If I heard it, I'd probably know. But now offhand, it doesn't sound like something I would know. But
yeah.
But yeah. Oh yeah. There you go. All right. Hey, let's end this on a more positive note. Oh, you got something else? Oh, Tim also says, I met Rowdy Roddy Piper once. He was not a jerk in real life, but had been attacked many times because he was a heel all those years. Yeah.
Whoa.
Sure.
Because people think it's real.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yep.
Yeah.
And even if you heard it's fake, you're still emotionally invested if you watch it,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Especially if you were walking around with bagpipes, then yeah, it'd be tricky.
I'm anyone with bagpipes in public, I'd punch. That's just a general something I live by.
Yeah. I want to go with John to a parade.
Oh, no.
That's a special event. If it is a bagpipe convention, that's one thing. If you're at Piggly Wiggly with the punch, you're getting a punch.
Oh, I get that. That makes sense.
Does that happen to you often? Or you go somewhere?
Not as often as I'd like. No.
I mean, if it happens once, that's a good life you've lived. Like Ozzy, you've led a good life. Brendan says there's a fight in a South Park episode choreographed blow by blow to that alley fight. Oh, I gotta look that up.
Oh man,
Oh,
that's great.
There's no jury on this planet that would convict me for punching a bagpiper. Justifiable.
All right, let's end on a higher note here and talk about something that we love. Two things: we love. Puppets and breakfast cereal. Jim Henson's Creature Shop is bringing the monster cereal's mascots to life. This Halloween, look, we love Halloween already as it is because it's a all right, there's another layer for you, John. Halloween, okay.
I know. Pile
Halloween. This Halloween spooky nostalgia meets innovative imagination as General Mills unveils its monstrously magical makeover for its monster cereal lineup in a first-of-its-kind collaboration with the legendary Jim Henson Company, celebrating its 70th anniversary, by the way. Count Chocula, Blueberry, and Frankenberry are being reimagined as puppets to delight fans in an entirely new way.
Wait, you misspoke there. You said puppets. I'm afraid you meant Muppets.
Excellent.
They're effectively in the Muppet style. Right?
Okay. So they're more Muppets than puppets, you're saying.
They're not just puppets.
Okay.
They're Muppets.
All right,
Muppets are elevated puppets.
Gotcha. All right, Muppets. Let's say that. Yeah, and this part of this collab is that you can get your hands on limited edition Fuzzy Frankenberry, John's got this already, doesn't he? Fuzzy Frankenberry cereal box with great mouthfeel.
That's a Walmart exclusive. Just so you know, I'll be stalking the aisles with my bagpipe looking for the Fuzzy Frankenberry.
Oh, John doesn't have it yet because it's going to be available beginning Tuesday, October 7th. All right, there you go.
There you go.
It's designed to mimic the fleece-like texture of the newly created puppet characters. The character-worthy box offers fans a tactile twist on the beloved brand with a soft touch finish and eye-catching design. If you get that, John, do you eat the cereal and then put the seal up the box, or you just leave everything all sealed up?
No. I Count Chocula is gone, right? Yeah. So Boo Berry, Frankenberry, they're okay. And year by year they change because the formula has changed since the 80s, 70s, 80s, of course. It doesn't have the same mouthfeel. It has a different taste. The oats and everything aren't. Point is, Count Chocula can do no wrong, but I always pick up at least one of each every year. If they have a 3-pack, all the better.
So you can, you could do another video. You did a whole comparison.
I've done many years. I have done. Yeah. Let's see how the monster cereals are this year. Yeah.
Test that new formula.
See if you're feeling the box while eating it, does it change the experience?
Maybe you never had to try before. It's never been fuzzy before.
So you could also here's a other neat little thing that's coming along with these boxes. You could flip each box for a look at how the team from Jim Henson's Creature Shop used their signature puppet building expertise and artistry to reimagine these beloved characters. What else? Oh, and also this is cool. I do want to check this out. I don't know if I'll buy the cereal boxes, although I do buy the cereal to consume it, not to collect it.
Okay, me too.
And Count Chocula specifically. I think that's our family's favorite. It's always been mine. We did try Carmella Crunch last year. I did not like that. That was
not for me.
I guess my second favorite would probably be Frankenberry. Yeah, definitely, because it's the strawberry one. Yeah, blueberry I'm not a fan of. Yeah, it's kind of funky. But also, I don't know that I like anything colored blue. That's kind of weird.
I would eat it.
But I definitely want to check this out, because at shop.henson.com, they can also have merch and collectibles to commemorate this historic partnership. I'd go for a hat or a T-shirt or something like that.
These, I want the puppets. I want to buy the puppets.
Just want the puppets, right?
Yes.
That'd be cool. Now, you can also head over to some website, which I thought I had it down here. What's it called? Oh, it's called the Cereal Creative or Cereal. It's the Cereal Society. If you go to the Cereal Society, you can see things like this. A video that actually shows these puppets, Muppets, rather, even brought to life.
Look at you.
Oops.
Oops.
Why do we got to get rid of him?
Looking at Mr. Billy Graham.
There's Billy Graham.
Superstar.
He looks like a puppet, a little bit.
Here we go.
But not a Muppet. He is not an elevated puppet.
No.
Can I rewind it here? Oh, I can. There you go.
Did you see that Marcus told you your mom's an elevated puppet?
I'm just fighting words.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Look at you. You look amazing.
I've never seen you look better. Stunning.
You look handsome. I'm so glad they found the mirror that works for you, because I'm really enjoying the show.
You are a pretty, pretty monster. Who's a pretty monster? You are. Who's misunderstood? You are.
Look at that chin.
Look at my eyes.
Look at that thing.
Hey!
Ah,
Out of here! Was it something I said?
That's adorable.
Now, what are your feelings of the voices of these characters?
That's all I could think about. And I was waiting, because every single one of them was just a little bit of an impression of who did the original voices. And I know that Boo Berry is Peter Lorre. And I'm like, let's see just how Peter Lorre he sounds. And there is like a 10% Peter Lorre in it. This is the first time I'd seen that.
Yeah.
They're a little goofy. Like the one is, yeah. What? Why? They damage it for you?
Well, no, it had me trying to recall what they sounded like in the commercials that we grew up with. And
I
so
can't remember.
I did pull something to help us remember.
Oh,
yeah.
Don't be scared.
Another plus bucket. Why? Why would they program it this way?
Beep.
what happened?
Just
showing the old
you
thing again.
swear.
Right, try again.
Don't be scared. I'm the super sweet monster with the super sweet new cereal, Count Chocula.
Biffle, here's the super sweet new cereal, Frankenberry.
But I've got chocolate sweeties for monstrous chocolate flavor.
Well, I got berry-flavored sweeties for monstrous strawberry flavor.
Count Chocula.
Frankenberry.
Hi.
Frankenberry.
Count Chocula.
You got Boo Berry in this.
Oh, no Boo Berry in that.
What a spooky hotel.
Homey, isn't it?
It's Blueberry.
With my hauntingly delicious cereal.
Wow,
Wow, blueberry flavor.
With tasty marshmallows.
It hasn't a ghost of a chance when Count Chocula's here.
Oh boy, a chocolatey flavored cereal.
With tasty marshmallows.
Blueberry.
Count Chocula. I picture a delicious breakfast. You too can enjoy a good, nutritious breakfast with
Blueberry. Count Chocula.
I didn't realize that they were.
Oh. Wow.
I didn't realize that the tag to all these commercials, like the Muppet one we just saw, was them getting scared at the end.
I didn't remember that.
Yeah.
Didn't recall it. That's cute.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you
not
gotta
all,
get
but often. Very often. Yeah.
Peter Lorre.
Because it
yes.
takes the edge off the scary, right? It takes the edge off the scary.
That's,
Yeah.
Because,
Especially
they're
that.
afraid too.
Yeah, it's a kid's cereal, right? So you've got Peter Lorre as the Blueberry voice. I'm sure it's a kind of a Bella Lugosi.
Is Lon Chaney one of them?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Yes, I think you might be right. Yes, so Lon Chaney would be the Frank. But I think Bela Lugosi is supposed to be Dracula because Count Chocula because he famously played with Dracula.
Yeah, I don't know that he is, but he's doing a Lugosi, I think. Yeah.
He's doing like an. Well, it also reminded me of the Count, like like from Sesame Street. You know, not that that's necessarily the origin. You know, but I just mean.
You think he is doing that? You said.
At a couple moments, he was like there was just a certain flair to what he said, and he went is what I heard, and I the Count from Sesame Street is what I was connecting to. But that's based on what?
Right.
Is that based on Bela Lugosi?
Yeah, I would imagine they all go back to Bela Lugosi.
I think so.
Yeah,
I believe so.
yeah.
Yeah, and I couldn't place Frankenberry, but I think you're right. I think that's Lon Chaney. Although I'm trying to think of a character where Lon Chaney actually spoke. Of course, Frankenstein was played by Boris Karloff.
Frankenberry.
I don't think that's a Karloff voice. I don't think.
I heard the Monster Mash song. You know.
That is Karloff was the Monster Mash.
Yes,
right?
that's what I heard.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense. Okay, so let's say that. All right, cool. Yeah, we figured it out then. Great.
I like it.
There you go. So, yeah, this is. I wonder how this came to be. And what's curious to me about it is, it's like, okay, it's a serial. It's not unless they're planning some kind of commercials, TV segments, or something like that. It seems like a lot of effort to create something that's ultimately going to be two-dimensional.
Yeah. Well, this is not the first time that General Mills has done these collaborations like this. It was a year or two ago. They did one with the artist Jaws or Hawes or Oz or somebody who did X's for eyes. Cause, thank you. Right. They did a collaboration with them. So I think General Mills is maybe just trying. And last year they did the new flavors. They tried the Carmella. I think they're just trying ways to keep their cereal that's so old and so lost some of its charm, maybe because the flavor's not quite what it was, and make it relevant and fun and give you a reason to go and buy it rather than just, that's back on the shelves. Must be September. I think people are more excited. We're talking about it. Hell,
Yeah, they'd have to. You're right. Yep. And John, get the horn ready here. Cause, I've said this before.
Oh.
I grew up with the Cause, Friends.
Of course you did.
My friend's little brother. I DJ'd his first communion.
Nice.
So you said.
I tried to get him on the show because, I've got connections because, his brother and I are still friends. No.
Mm-hmm. Sorry. Way too important.
Too busy. All right. Anyway, Marcus says puppets are dumb.
I think he's
Zen's
trying
also fighting words.
Inflame us here. Yes.
Ted is still in love with the Muppets and the Monster Mascot, so I am thrilled. I still love Muppets and the Monster cereal. Oh, that's sweet.
There you go.
Tim says, I think I saw those new Monster Muppets. I think it's interesting. 2 nostalgia plays got stuck together. Should be interesting to see if they do ads with them. Yeah, I'd like to see some commercials for them, right?
That'd be fun. Yeah.
Now, John, you'd be able to answer this. Tim also says they changed the formula for the Monster cereals, and he doesn't like Blueberry anymore.
Yeah, years ago. Yeah. I think it was changed when they brought it back in the 2000s. In the we're in the 2000s. Early 2000s, not the 2020s, right? Mm-hmm. Even then they brought it back and it's a different formula, which makes it it's a little styrofoamy. Like it's lost some of its grain flavor, because it's not the same. I don't know.
Tim doesn't think
more like puppet foam. What? Sorry.
I was going to say Tim doesn't think the voices go far enough, but does say
no, they don't.
Use Karloff. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, yeah. Can't please everybody. Hey, but hopefully the cereal tastes good. And again, I love Count Chocula, so that seems to be the same. I certainly am pleased with it every year. So
Good enough. Yep. Chocolate forgives a multitude of sins.
Yes. Yeah, you wouldn't have noticed if it's different because there's chocolate, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Hey, I always look forward to Halloween. So just another thing to look forward to. All right. Hey, speaking of looking forward to things, guys, we made it. It's over. The show.
Bravo.
You're looking forward to this, right?
The moment you've all been waiting for. The end.
Oh, now. Whatever community service you had to pay by watching this or listening. All right. Hey, that was the show, Kat.
And our show is brought to you thanks in part to our early adopters, Rick Parker and Karen Flieger.
Thank you.
And thank you especially to our Secret of Our Success level Patreon supporters, John Henderson, Brandon Greer, Nick Guillory, Marcus Taylor, Tony Great, and Matt Marino.
Yeah. Hey, guys, thank you so much for your unending, unending,
ideally,
support.
The end continues.
We're so very grateful for your continued contribution that helps help us to produce this show week after week, paying all the bills, all the licensing fees, etc. And I'm not joking that they really are those. If you'd like to support us as well, please do so. You can subscribe to the show here. You can write a review. You can make a comment. You can go to YouTube and subscribe there, or you can just give us cold hard cash in the form electronically, of course, over at patreon.com/1980s now. And there you go. Hey, we've got some cool things coming up, including some interviews and some more shows. So definitely subscribe to the podcast and come back for more. All right. On behalf of all of us, bye. No. All right. Hey, with that, we will talk to you again next time on 1980s Now.
Until next time.
Sorry, little commentary outgassing.
Yeah. Commentary outgassing.
It was not going to be an episode until John did that.
He was relaxed. Now he can feel like himself. Pressure's gone.
Oh, it's a normal show.
Put his pants up again.
Nah. It's a party now. Why end it?
He's like, if I don't stand up, I'm good. Come on, John. Let's see that W. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
hey, what?
Oh, no.
I'm afraid it's lowercase right now.
Talk about a Y. Z?
Hey, Ted just called us cheese bags. Are we cheese bags? What's that?
Fresh cheese bags.
I mean,
fresh cheese bags.
I've eaten cheese.
Oh, Karen said it feels like Wednesday again.
Oh. Because I made fart noises, or the whole show?
Yeah, of course.
And additionally, we're recording.
Look, I'm not asking Karen to out herself by any means, but the fact that she was running into dusty roads,
right?
I'm wondering if he. I don't know. I'm not wondering anything. Whatever.
Right.
Wow, that's really cool, though. Wow.
Are you hypothesizing about her geography? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, she runs in the wrestling circles. Yeah. All right, is that it?
No, because I have a question. Ted complimented you on a Beastie Boys reference or something.
Oh, yeah. John and I pulled that off.
We did an intergalactic planetary. Yeah.
I didn't say planetary the second time, but I'll add it in post.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I totally missed it. I was wondering what it was.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's it. Now, let me clear my throat and kick it over here, baby pop. All right. All the fly Kimmas feel the beat. All right.
Drop.
It's just a bunch of Beastie Boys now.
Closer every time. Tim says it sounded more like an ass blaster from Tremors.
Could be.
Ass blasters. I still didn't get to the ass blasters. Like, we started watching the movies and I still.
Cat, you got to get to the ass blasters. We're waiting for the full report.
You got to get to the commentary outgassings.
Yeah.
Still on the list.
All right. Hey, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Come back again. Love to everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Toots.